Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho. Today I want to make I don't know how long this commentary is going to be because this kind of topic could either take like just 5 minutes or like 30 minutes. And typically speaking, if you know me, it might take 30 minutes, but I don't think it'll take that long. Today I want to talk about determination, or in other words, if you guys are familiar with the athletics company Nike, you know how their logo is "Just Do It." That's kind of what I want to talk about. So as a kind of pretext to this, earlier this week, I was looking at different headsets in order to buy because the one I'm using right now, it's still really good. Unfortunately, I don't really know the name of it. I just bought it from a Best Buy because my Turtle Beaches that were my very first set of headphones that I used for my YouTube channel. It got broken after like a year because the left ear cup or something like that got just started malfunctioning. You can't really even hear out of it anymore. So I just bought the one I have now about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. And while it's still good, there's nothing wrong with it. I kind of have the problem. I kind of have a problem with the mic piece or the mic because if you listen to the commentaries like this, you can kind of hear like a faint buzzing in the background. It's not really like a really annoying buzzing, but it's kind of like it's kind of like the ambience, or I guess there's something wrong with it. I'm not really too sure, but you can definitely hear there's something in the mic if I'm doing like a live commentary or just like a commentary like this. So I decided, it might be time to get a new mic, one that preferably doesn't have that kind of a sound issue. And yeah, I was looking at different kinds of headsets, and because I have some money to spend and kind of want a new mic or a new headset in general. So I was looking at Astro 40s, Steel Series. Then I came across one that it's by Razer. It's called the Razer Black Shark, and I had heard of this from a live stream. If you guys know Gold Glove, T. Martin, Ernest Lee, they were doing a Race to Prestige. If you guys are familiar with that is, for the game Titanfall. And when they did that, they were featuring, or since they were sponsored by Razer, or the live stream was sponsored by Razer, they were promoting the Razer Black Shark headset because that's what they were using for their live stream. So I thought of that, and then I looked it up, and I really liked what I saw. It apparently has it's basically based off like real life military headsets that they use for helicopter pilots and whatever. I really like the design, and I read some reviews that the headphones themselves are very comfortable. The sound quality is excellent, so I decided to go ahead and buy this around 1 or 2 days ago. I think it's 2 days ago now by the time of this commentary, and it should be coming in very soon because the shipping is very fast. I think like 3 to 5 business days. So I'm looking forward to getting it in the mail. However, that being said, the thing is that I should have probably ordered this back then, like 2 months ago, because the Race to Prestige live stream for Titanfall occurred like 2 months ago in March, and during that time since they were promoting it, they were having a 10% off promo code, so that you could, if you wanted to buy a Razer product, you could just enter it in with on whatever you wanted to buy, and you get 10% off for either that purchase or your total purchase or that item or whatever. So that being said, or in hindsight, I probably should have bought that headset while I had the promo code available, because when I try using it now, obviously it doesn't work because that live stream isn't, it's done, it's over. So it doesn't really make sense for me to be able to use the promo code like that now, like 2 months later. So the thing is that, or the message I wanted you guys to take away from this is that whatever you guys want to do, just do it. Like that whole Nike logo thing or whatever. If you want, for example, if there's that girl that you want to ask out to prom or something, or you really like, and you're pretty sure she doesn't have a boyfriend at the moment or something like that, just go ahead and ask her. Obviously, I'm not the best person to go to for love advice, and like, for God's sake, don't. But if I had to, go to that person, go to whoever you actually like or have affection for, and actually tell them straight up, hey, do you want to go out? Because most of the time, a lot of people, it's pretty much stereotypical, it's almost cliche to this point in any society, really, that, people always kind of tiptoe around each other. They always try to going for the indirect route to asking people out or something like that. Guys, That's bullshit. Just man up, find the balls to be a man, and just go ahead and ask that person whatever, you know? Most of the time, in my opinion, the reason why people don't want to do that is because they don't feel like they can handle the consequences of what their actions hold. And understandably, something as nerve-wracking as asking a girl out can, be really hard on a lot of people. I understand that. However, at some point there needs to come a time where you need to say, okay, I gotta let my balls drop and just go ahead and do it. You want to go ahead and bungee jump off a bridge that's 100 feet off the ground, and you're scared that your rope is gonna break. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you're there to bungee jump to begin with. Otherwise, why would you even be there? And just jump. If something happens, then people will either you have to go take care of it, or if it's out of your control, then people will most likely come to your help, unless you're really screwed. But whichever the case, as long as you're not doing something life-threatening, just go ahead and do it. I was for my example, I didn't want to buy that headset because I was like, well, what if there's like another headset that I find later on down the road that's cheaper and better than the Razer Black Shark? Oh, what if I get another promo code that lets me save even more money than just 10%? What if I get like a 15% off promo code, or a 20% off promo code, or even 25% off promo code? What if that happens later on? No, just if you have an advantage, or if you have a situation where you can take advantage of it right now, it's probably better to do it now, unless you know for a fact that something better will happen later on down the road. Unless that's the case, then it's much better to I guess, seize the day, so to speak, at that exact moment in time. Because you never, like I said, unless you know what's going to happen in the future, there's no telling of what might happen later. Maybe that chance will miss. Maybe that girl you're trying to ask out to prom or whatever, because you didn't ask her right away, decides to go out with some other dude, and you're like, well, fuck, I missed my chance. And you have to go look for another girl, but you're not really interested because that's the girl that you had your eyes on. Just do it, guys. No matter how hard the situation, no matter how scared you are, no matter what the consequences are, just do it. Just make sure to face the consequences, because obviously I'm not telling you guys to just do whatever you want and not worry about what the consequences are. You have to worry about the consequences, that's for sure. But don't go into doing something thinking, like obsessing over what might happen to you as repercussions of what you decided to do now. Obviously, because I'm not really for taking drugs, something like that. Don't twist my words out of context here. Don't do things that are illegal or criminal, or related to criminal activities. Don't do something like that. As long as you're not hurting someone else, this is fine, and you should take my word for this. But just go ahead and do what you want to do, and just worry about facing the consequences later. Enjoy yourself now. Or do whatever you need to or want to now, and then worry about what you'll have to deal with later. Go into doing something knowing what your consequences are, knowing that you'll have to deal with them sometime later, and when you have to deal with them, or when the time comes that you need to deal with them, don't complain, don't bitch. Just know that that's kind of what you deserve, whatever the consequences may be. They could be good or bad. And just go ahead and do it. You want to buy that headset? Fine, go ahead and do it. As long as you have the money, go ahead and do it. You want to buy something? It doesn't have to be a headset. If you just want to buy something, as long as it's not fucking weed or something, well, then again, it's your choice. Go ahead and buy it. You'll deal with the consequences later. And you'll have to do it in a responsible manner. If you don't do it in a responsible manner, then, you're going to get your ass bitten in the back sometime. What comes around goes around. If you don't man up and take it in the butt, so to speak, then you shouldn't really follow my advice. Because if you don't know how to be responsible, then I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna have a lot to learn later on in life. But as long as you're responsible, as long as you know what your consequences are, and as long as you're willing to accept those kinds of consequences, no matter how good or bad they are, just go ahead and do it. Especially for things that don't really have a significant amount of consequence. Like asking a girl out, holy shit, man. In my opinion, because I've never really had the experience of asking girls out, I look at this and say, or I look at other people trying to ask people out and can't because they're too scared to, or they're too much of a pussy to. Just like, just go fucking ask her. Like, what's your hesitation for? I don't understand. You're literally taking 1-2 minutes out of your time, or out of your day, to walk up to this girl and ask her, hey, you want to go out? You know? It's that simple. If she says yes, hallelujah! Hell yeah! They actually sound similar. You've got yourself a girlfriend now, or you got yourself a date at the very least. If you don't, or if she says no, big deal. You know, at least you asked. At least you tried. Now you know for a fact that she's not really into you too much, and you should probably look for someone else. Again, I'm no love doctor. I'm not someone you should come to for dating relationship advice. But if I had to give a piece of information or a piece of advice, that would be it for people who don't know how to fucking man up and go ask someone. You know, what's with this whole... Like, what's with the drama? Like the social drama about, oh, you know, I want to ask her out, but I don't want to. Maybe I'm out of touch with social times now. Maybe people are manning up and just asking people out. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, people will always be really, really hesitant on doing things. They're going to see their problems in life, and they're going to say, no, I don't want to confront that directly. I'm going to take the roundabout way. You know, I'm going to avoid the problem at all costs, and just kind of grovel about it and bitch about it to myself, and not let other people know that I have this kind of problem, or something like that. The point is, in my opinion, or in my eyes, people are not willing to confront their problems, or, you know, their situation with the most direct manner possible. Of course, I'm not telling you to be like me. I'm not telling you to be like some rude douchebag who is like shameless in roasting people over the internet. I'm not telling you to be like me, because I honestly do not care. So I can do things like that and not have to worry about the consequences, because I honestly don't let them bother me. If you're bothered by feedback or criticism, then maybe you can have a different stance on this. But you shouldn't be, because if you want to make a decision, then it's your decision alone. And, you know, if you're fully committed to making that decision, then you really shouldn't really let the opinions of other people phase you. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't really like to take, or doesn't really take criticism very, very well, or if you are afraid of what people think of you for doing something, then obviously the most direct way isn't necessarily the best way. But you still need to maintain some sort of directness to your problem. You know, I'm not asking you to do what I do and just ram your head into it over and over and expect that to solve the situation. But at the very least, you should be able to find the decency to be able to talk about it. You know, confront your problem and look at it at the most reasonable way possible, to the point where, you know, where you can solve your problem. You know, deal with the situation and not have to take any lashback or how do you call it? Any recoil? I'm not really too sure what the correct word is, but you know, approach your situation with as directly as possible and with as least kind of backfire, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the word. To backfire to yourself. You know, I'm not telling you to make a fool out of yourself. I'm not telling you to make yourself look like an idiot. Well, actually, those are two same things. But the thing is that you need to be direct in what your situation is, even if it's not the biggest problem in the world. You know, still, being able to directly confront it is I think a really, really good strength to have, a really good characteristic to have, because if you're able to face problems directly and solve them directly, then it's a whole lot easier than going like 3 miles around, like freaking 2 to 3 times around the world in order to solve a problem that you could probably just take 3 steps to and then solving it right there on the spot. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about, because obviously my explanations and descriptions aren't the best, clearly. But you know, being direct is a hell of a lot more better, better than being indirect. There are times where you can be indirect, or there's times where it's better to be indirect, I'm sure. But in my opinion, just going ahead and facing your problem directly is by far the best way to either solve or deal with the situation. It might not be the best way, but it's, I guess you can say, the most convenient way. Because if you solve a problem right then and there, then you won't have to worry about it later. Or you won't have to worry about dealing with the consequences the second time, hopefully. So, anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Again, this commentary went for a little bit longer than I expected, but obviously it's much better than just like a 30-minute commentary. But in any case, thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully, this has changed your minds on a lot of things. If you guys are that kind of person where you're not really into doing things, confronting things directly. But in any case, thank you guys very much for watching, and hope you guys have enjoyed the commentary. So see you guys later.